All right, good morning, everybody. Dennis here, back at you on my channel, Everyday Strength, where every day I talk about strength of body, mind, and character. This morning, I'm going to be rating myself on my performance on the six, or the six challenge. For those of you who don't know, the six is a challenge that I came up with out of my crazy imagination. It is a strength and conditioning challenge. It involves 6 different movements: the pull up, the strict overhead press, the bench press, the squat, the deadlift, and the run. The idea is that to achieve the gold standard for the six, that you can do one 100-pound weighted pull up, one 200-pound strict press with a barbell, one 300-pound bench press with the barbell, one 400-pound back squat with the barbell, and one 500-pound deadlift with the barbell, and a sub 6-minute mile run all in the same day. And so I spent about 9 months last year training for this. Nothing crazy. I really just tried to turn my typical 1 hour a day into the style of training that I thought would focus in on this goal. And then I attempted it on my birthday, October 23rd. And part of that attempt, I actually did the big 3 lifts, the squat, bench, dead, at a powerlifting competition. Now, that may have proved to actually make the challenge more difficult. Hard to say. Well, I would say definitely yes, just because of the length of the day. But nonetheless, I'm going to give myself a grade today. So first, I'm going to start off with grading myself based off my lifetime PRs. So in my life, and all within, all within the last 5 years. Most of them within the last year or two. Let's start with the pull-up. The pull-up, I actually, on challenge day on my birthday, this past October 23rd, I got the 106. The kettlebell I have is 106 pounds, so I got the 100-pound weighted pull-up for 1 rep. So check that off. I've gotten earlier in the year a 195-pound strict press. Although, I think the internet judges would probably call me on a little bit of assistance from the legs. There was a little knee bend, but we'll count it, 195. Bench press, 275, same deal, but may have came off the bench, training PR, whatever, 275, we'll count it. Squat, I used to say 375, again, crappy form. It was actually 2 birthdays ago, definitely above parallel. So I'm going to go with the 363 that I hit in competition on my birthday this past year. So 363. Deadlift, 445 in the gym. Was working on it 2 years ago, not even, year and a half ago, and it just went up really smooth. So count it, 445, and then run 550 or 553, something like that. And that was about 3-4 years ago when I was doing CrossFit. So here's how you score the 6. So basically, it's in pounds and seconds, right? So for the 5 lifts, you can possibly get 2,100 total pounds. And for the run, you can possibly get 360 seconds, or 60 seconds times 6 minutes. You don't get additional points for lifting heavier than the prescribed weights or the benchmark weights. You don't get extra points for running faster than the benchmark time, but you do get deducted points for going below the weights or over the time. And it's either a point per pound or a point per second. So when We put pounds and seconds together, you get a total possible score of 2,460. That's 2,100 total pounds possible, 360 total seconds possible. 2,460. And so looking at my personal best, if I add up, that pull up, the overhead press. So for instance, the overhead press 195, that's a -5. The gold standard's 200. That's what I'm trying to get. I was 5 pounds short. It's a -5. Deadlift 445, -55. Okay, so all those PRs get me a -120. If I, -120. If I divide that by the total amount possible, that gives me a 95%. If I was scoring this like school, I would have gotten a 95%. Not too bad. Now, the test is not your PRs. It's all meant to be done on the same day. So how did I do on game day? All right, so here we go. I did hit the pull-up, so check. It's just a 0. You don't get extra points for the 6 pounds. It was a 106 kettlebell. I don't get any extra points. It's just I achieved it, a 0. It's like golf. Scratch. 0 is the best possible score you can get. Well, I guess even in golf you can go negative, but whatever. So good. So I got a 0 for the pull-up. Overhead press, I got 165. I did this at the way end of the day after the powerlifting competition. Totally fatigued, very disappointing. 165. That is a -35. Okay. Bench press, I got 253. So -47. Squat, I got 363. Deadlift, I got 418. And I actually aborted the run, DNF. I didn't even try. Again, this was part of the logistics aspect. I got to the powerlifting competition at 7 a.m. I stayed there. I didn't even stay till the end. I left when I was done lifting and raced back to my gym because there's also a track right by my gym, and I wanted to kind of take a minute to decompress, get some food, and do the additional lifts there. Raced back to my gym, got the pull-up, failed the overhead press, and looked outside and it was pitch black. And at that point I was like, well, I'm going to have to try this again anyway. And I have a pretty good idea of where my run is at. But the way I'm feeling right now, I think the only real thing that can happen is that I might hurt myself. So I didn't try it. Now, I think if I would have tried it under the conditions that I was in, I really think if I gave it my best effort, I guarantee you I could get a 7-minute mile. That'd be 145 splits. In training, most of my splits, if I was doing all out 400s, they were about at 120. When I did like 800 meter, I was doing 3-minute 800 meters, so my pace was about 130. I even held that for 1200. So I had every reason to believe I could be really close to that 6 minutes or under. Again, it is a big factor to be able to do that under fatigue after the end of everything. But I think it's being very honest to say that I could do 7 minutes. Now I might feel like absolute garbage afterwards. So I'll give myself a -60 on that. So if we look at my competition day, and I assume a -60 for the run, we're looking at a -259. That's 2,201 points out of a total possible 2,460. That would put me at an 89%. Whatever, B+. If I would have nailed the run, I would have gotten A. And so, whatever. 90%. I'm 90% of the way there. That's not bad. That's not a failure. It's easy to look back now at my training and go, okay, this was a bad idea. This didn't work. That sucked. That's part of the process. So 90% of the way there. I'm going to close that gap this year. Well, within the next year. I do plan to hit some of those lifts independently, maybe by the end of this year. But I got big things coming. Can't wait. All right, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.